end of another very busy week. I'm here again just to update you on a few things from this week and looking forward to the week ahead. I'd like to start by just touching base on a couple of things from last week's video in relation to the use of masks and also attendance reporting. And then today I'd like to talk to you about remote learning and supporting students if they do have to work from home, our lunchtime arrangements and changes to those, and finally a little bit on some of our virtual open events in the forthcoming week. So looking back to last week, again, thank you to all families who are supporting us in making sure that your children come to school with a face covering and an appropriate face covering for school each day, and that it's in line with our uniform expectations. The face covering is now a required item each day, and we will start to monitor students who don't bring those regularly to school, and we'll work with families to make sure that we can rectify that. We are still having to give out a number of disposable masks each day, and as well as the environmental impact that that has, as a school we simply can't sustain that level of financial cost to us either. So it really is critical that as families you support us and make sure that your child has a mask to come to school each day, please. Secondly, just referring back to attendance as we talked about last week, thank you to parents and families who do phone in every single day that a child is absent. But if I could ask you please to make sure that you continue to do so, that you must report absence every single day. And this is critical as part of our safeguarding approach, so that we know on a daily basis where children are and how things are progressing if they are absent. So to today, first of all, in terms of remote learning, I spoke last week about ensuring that all of our students now have access both to Microsoft Teams and also to class charts. If a student is required to isolate either because of a household member or because they've been sent home as part of a bubble from school, it is really important that if they are well, that they continue to access their learning every single day. Students cannot afford to have gaps or breaks in their learning, and therefore your support in making sure that they are doing that, and if there are any challenges with accessing it, you contact us so that we can resolve those, and means that your child will not be missing out and will be ready to resume their learning with the rest of their peers when they return to school. So your continued support with that is greatly appreciated and is really important. Secondly, to lunchtime arrangements. Now that we have all of our systems and safety measures really well established within school, but also now that the weather is becoming a little more inclement, we have adapted our lunchtime arrangements so that students may eat their lunches in their form rooms at the start of their lunchtime, and then as long as the weather permits they will be encouraged to go outside for the rest of lunchtime to get some fresh air, which is really important. We would appreciate if you would reinforce with your children the importance of them taking responsibility for making sure that they leave their classrooms, their form rooms in a tidy state, ready for the afternoon's learning as well, please. And then finally today, this is the time of year when we would normally be looking forward to all of our open events and meeting lots of prospective families as people make choices about high school for their children. Clearly, in the current climate, those open events are no longer possible at this stage. So we have next week a series of virtual video tours and different things planned via our social media platforms. We will share with you a link to our virtual tour, our video tour of the school, and would encourage that if you know anybody that's in the position where they're having to make these choices this year, that you share that with them, and do encourage them to get in touch with us if they've got any questions at all about this critical and important decision. So just to recap, face masks and attendance to really make sure that students have those and that it's reported daily. And then from this week, in terms of reinforcing remote learning as parents, if you can make sure that your children do access that. Our new lunch arrangements hopefully will improve things as the weather becomes more inclement and students can now eat their lunches in their form rooms. And finally, we look forward to sharing our virtual open events with you and would appreciate you sharing those with anybody you may think that would find them helpful. So the weeks seem to be flying by very quickly. I hope you and your family continue to stay well and to stay safe at these challenging times. Have a good rest over the weekend, and we look forward to seeing your children next week.